You're walking through tall grass 100,000 years ago. The sun is going down. Behind you, something moves. You turn, and two yellow eyes catch the last of the light. A cave lion, twice the size of any lion alive today, 700 pounds of muscle and teeth, and it is looking directly at you. You have no gun, no knife, not even a sharpened stick. Your teeth are flat, your nails are useless, and you cannot outrun it, outclimb it, or outfight it. By every rule of nature, this is where your story ends. And yet, here you are, thousands of generations later, watching this on a screen. So how did your ancestors survive in a world where almost everything was built to kill them? That's the story. For most of our history, we were the prey. In 1924, a scientist named Raymond Dart examined a fossil skull from South Africa. It belonged to an early human ancestor, a child only about 3 years old, and punched through the eye sockets were two clean holes, spaced exactly to match the canine teeth of a leopard. That child wasn't the victim of a freak accident. That child was food. For millions of years, this was the human condition. We weren't the hunters at the top of the food chain. We were meat, and the things that ate us were the finest killers evolution had ever produced. The things that hunted us were nightmares. There was the saber-toothed cat, 600 pounds, with 11-inch fangs built to punch straight through the throat of a bison. It didn't chase you. It waited in the grass and exploded outward at 30 miles an hour. One bite, and it was over. There was the short-faced bear, 12 feet tall on its hind legs, 2,000 pounds, with long legs built not for lumbering, but for running you down at 40 miles an hour. Unlike modern bears, it didn't bother with berries. It ate meat, and only meat. If it saw you, you were already dead. There were cave hyenas that hunted in packs of 20 with a bite strong enough to crush bone to get at the marrow. And they hunted at night. When we were half blind, there were dire wolves in packs of 30. Cave lions a quarter larger than today's, hunting in groups. Everywhere humans lived, something was evolved to eat us. And we had almost nothing to fight back with. Here's the part that should really land. A chimpanzee, our closest living relative, is around 3 times stronger than a grown human. Chimps have fangs. They can shoot 30 feet up a tree in seconds. And Dordins lesnik and high, kawi chip et brow. Faster, choy chip in disau. But your rake a man hikes. Rescobik and bray, Porhoy Shidin de Bevican Furry, Babisbao Washam, Furian by Ford Nazray, Cambracoli Chin speaking say. We were slower than chimps and weaker than chimps. We couldn't see in the dark. We couldn't smell danger coming. Our hearing was average at best. We walked upright, which made us easy to spot from far away. And our babies screamed constantly and couldn't even walk for a year. On paper, we are the animal that should not have made it. Every predator I just described is extinct. We're the ones still standing. So what did we have that they didn't? The first thing that saved us was fire. In a cave in South Africa, archaeologists found signs of controlled fire going back 1 million years. Burned bone, ash, hearths, and fire rewrote everything about being human. A campfire creates a ring of safety about 30 feet across, and predators simply will not cross it. That fear is hardwired so deeply that even today, lions in Africa keep their distance from flame. But fire gave us more than a wall of light. Before fire, when the sun set, you froze in place and prayed until morning. After fire, you had 3 or 4 extra hours every single night. Time to make tools, to plan, to talk. And fire let us cook. Cooked food gives up more calories and is easier to digest, and those extra calories fed the one organ that would become our real weapon, the brain. The second thing was endurance. We are genuinely terrible sprinters. A saber-tooth could hit 30 miles an hour almost instantly. We max out slower and only for a few seconds. But there is one thing no other predator on Earth could do, and we were the best in the world at it. Keep going. It's called persistence hunting. You don't chase an animal flat out. You track it at a steady jog, just fast enough to keep it moving. For hours, it runs, stops, overheats, runs again, because unlike us, it can't sweat and cool itself while moving. Eventually, it collapses from heat stroke, and you simply walk up to it. We are the only species alive that can hunt this way. We didn't beat the fastest animals. We outlasted them. The third thing was pattern recognition. The human brain is a machine for spotting patterns. A broken twig means something passed through. Disturbed earth means something dug here. The shape of a track tells you what made it, how big it was, and how long ago it came by. We turned that instinct on the very things hunting us. We learned their routines: saber-tooths near water at dusk, cave lions afraid of fire, short-faced bears solitary and territorial. We watched, we remembered, and, crucially, we told each other. And every generation, that knowledge stacked a little higher, but the real weapon was each other. In a fossil site in Georgia, researchers found the skull of a human ancestor from 1.8 million years ago who had lost every single tooth years before death. No teeth means no chewing, no processing raw food. And yet this person lived on for years, which means someone else was feeding them, softening food, keeping them alive. No lion does that. A predator that can't feed itself dies. A human who can't feed themselves gets cared for. In a cave in Iraq, there's a Neanderthal skeleton, around 60,000 years old, of a man with a healed broken arm, blindness in one eye, and severe arthritis. He couldn't hunt, he couldn't fight, and he lived to about 40 because his group refused to let him die. That is the thing that set us apart. We didn't just survive together, we cared for each other. And once we cooperated, we stopped being prey. Wolves hunt in packs, but it's pure instinct. Humans hunt in packs with roles and a plan. You drive the animal toward the cliff. You wait below with spears. You cut off its escape. We used language to coordinate strategies no animal could counter, and we learned to kill from a distance, something no predator could defend against. Around 400,000 years ago, humans in what's now Germany were crafting wooden throwing spears, balanced, aerodynamic, built to kill from 30 feet away. 5 people with spears and a plan could bring down a saber-tooth. And they did. Somewhere in there, the relationship flipped. We stopped running. We started hunting. Then we went everywhere, and the monsters vanished. Around 50,000 years ago, humans poured out of Africa into Europe, Asia, Australia, and eventually the Americas. And nearly everywhere we arrived, the great predators and giant animals began to disappear. Saber-tooths, cave lions, short-faced bears, mammoths, giant sloths, one by one, gone. Scientists still debate how much of that was us and how much was a changing climate, and the honest answer is probably both. But the pattern is hard to ignore. On continent after continent, the giants vanished within a few thousand years of humans showing up. We didn't just survive the things that hunted us. We outlasted them, outthought them, and in the end, replaced them. So here's the truth underneath all of it. Evolution handed every predator a single gift: speed, strength, venom, camouflage, teeth. It handed us something different: adaptability. We couldn't outrun the bear, so we threw rocks at it from a distance. We couldn't outbite the hyena, so we surrounded it in numbers. We couldn't see in the dark, so we made fire and turned night into day. Every weakness forced an invention, and every invention stacked on the last. For 2 million years, we were the hunted. We hid in trees. We ran from shadows. We lost our children to leopards and could do nothing but grieve. But we had one thing that no fang and no claw could match. We could learn from our mistakes, and we could teach the next generation not to repeat them. No single human was stronger than a cave lion, but a human who could pass on everything they'd learned, nothing on earth could keep up with that. And that's really the whole story of us. We didn't win because we were the strongest animal in the grass. We won because we were the only animal that could remember and warn and hand down what it knew. The predators evolved better bodies. We built something better than a body. We built each other.